Hello there, it's just me, your old buddy Grizzly Jim, and today we're just going to have a little look at fiberglass arrows. Bear with me. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of fiberglass arrows is way back when I was a kid, I had a copy on videotape. It was so long ago, it may even have been on Betamax, but it was a long time ago. And it was one of Fredbear's hunting videos. I think it was The Adventures of Fredbear or something. And him and his party were out in the woods. They'd set up camp. They were getting ready to go on a hunt, but they thought they'd get their eye in, and they were shooting clumps of moss and old tree stumps and things. And the narrator, who had that sort of classic kind of almost pathé kind of voiceover, was like, oh, and Fredbear and his chums are, you know, shooting state-of-the-art fiberglass arrows. And I don't know, whenever I think of fiberglass arrows, it always reminds me of that little video. But I guess that the question I'm asking in this video is, are fiberglass arrows still relevant? And to you, the archer watching this, no, probably not. You know what you like. You know what spine you like. You know if you like carbon. You know if you like aluminium or aluminum for our American friends. You know what you like, and the fiberglass arrow isn't going to give you really what you like. So no, I'm talking to an archer. No, they're probably not relevant. But behind you is someone that's just starting out in their archery, someone who's just finding their feet, the recreational archer, the garden archer, the scoutmaster trying to put together some archery equipment for youth archery. Then yeah, the fiberglass arrow is actually a pretty good thing. It's cheap. It's cheap and inexpensive, which are basically the same thing. It's pretty tough. It's gonna last you. You don't have to worry about spine too much. They're all pretty much of a muchness. I mean, the tolerances aren't anything like you'd get on carbon arrows or aluminium arrows. But if you're buying a bunch of arrows to use for recreational purposes, then 100% yes, fiberglass is still relevant. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. We've got a couple here. I thought I'd have a look. I mean, they're not without their downsides. I mean, let's first look at, this is pretty much your generic fiberglass arrow. You're going to get this arrow with archery kits and things. You can buy it in bulk. You can buy them in packs of 5. Buy them in as many as you want. And this is the standard fiberglass arrow, and it's used. The method used to make this arrow is it's extruded fiberglass. So it's lots of fibers pulled long and thin and kind of glued together, which does have the downside is when you break one. Now I broke one earlier on purpose, obviously. It sort of splinters. You get these very long kind of nasty looking, I don't know if you see that, nasty looking splinters. So for kind of youth archery and stuff, if you do break one, you've got to be careful. So that's the extruded type. The other type, which is the star arrow that we have. Now this is a different type of method they've used to make this, which is a rolled fiberglass rather than extruded. So if it breaks and it snaps, the splinters don't go long ways, they go around. And again, I've got a broken one here to show you, and it snaps, and it just snaps. It goes into 2. Obviously, you're going to have sort of horrible little bits there anyway, but nowhere near as bad as sort of an extruded fiberglass arrow. And I mean, you tend to find on arrows as well, fiberglass arrows, you have like an oversized point, which if you use in a recreational target can cause problems. But these ones here, they're a flush fit point, which is actually kind of a nice feature, as well as a friction fit push in knock. So it's got all the features. I mean, the Star's got all the features of a, for the want of a better phrase, a proper arrow. I mean, I don't think there's anything stopping you stripping those off and putting feathers on if you really wanted to, and sort of give yourself a bit more of a traditional experience. But yeah, I mean, fiberglass does have its place. It's incredibly useful, like I say, for kind of recreational and garden archery. I mean, just getting into the sport, you are going to lose arrows, you're going to break arrows. So why spend a fortune on something while you're learning? Why not buy something cheap and cheerful and build up to the more advanced kind of arrow, sort of, you know, your carbons or your even hybrid arrows now, aluminium arrows. You know, the sky's the limit when it comes to arrows, but you don't want to be spending a lot of money when you first start out. So probably, you know, a basic fiberglass arrow. I would probably, if I was going to recommend a fiberglass arrow, I'd look at the Star. That seems to be a little bit more, a little bit more of an arrow, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's just something. You know, I had a conversation with someone the other day about fiberglass arrows, and I figured I'd kind of make this little video just talking about fiberglass. And yes, like I say, they are relevant for more recreational purposes. Something like this, you wouldn't use it on a bow higher than about 35 pounds in draw weight. You start getting higher than that, you're going to start causing yourself problems, and it's going to be very difficult to sort of match arrows and tune arrows like this. But like I say, they serve a purpose. I hope you found that useful. Odd topic for a video, but yeah, I mean, fiberglass arrows are a thing. I'll probably do some more videos looking at different types, looking at carbon, looking at aluminium, especially aluminium, because I know the spining is a little bit sort of different on the aluminium arrow, so we'll do something on that at some point. But anyway, that's fiberglass arrow. Pretty useful if you're just getting started. But anyway, I hope you found that useful. You take care, shoot straight, and I'll see you on the internet. Bye-bye.